Hello and welcome to another Excel tips video. I'm Sumit Bansal and in this video I'm going to show you how to convert values in seconds into minutes. Now if you're thinking that this should be fairly easy, all you have to do is divide it by 60. Well, it's not that easy, it's different in the world of Excel. In this video I'm going to show you 3 ways to convert values in seconds into minutes in Excel. So let's get started. Here I have the names of people and I have their completion time, assuming let's say this is a race and this is the completion time of that race. Now in this case, what I want to do is I want to convert these values from seconds into minutes and seconds. And if I ask you to do this manually in your head, you can say that this is going to be 1 minute 43 seconds. But I cannot simply divide this value by 60 when I'm working in Excel. Why? Let me show you. If I select this cell and I divide it by 60, it gives me this value. Now this is not incorrect, but this is not the format you want this in. So it says that this is 1.716, which means that this is 1 minute and 0.716 portion of the next minute. But this is not 1 minute 43 seconds. And if I ask you, tell me the exact time in minutes and seconds using this value, you would probably not be able to do that. Now, the reason we need to do this differently is because Excel stores dates and time values as numbers in the backend. So let me explain how this works. I would come here and in this cell, I'm going to enter 1. Now, if I convert this into a date in Excel, what it's going to do is every full whole number is going to be considered as 1 day. So if I come here and I say, what is the date? Let me actually go for a long date. So it shows me 1st January 1900. Now, if I come here and I enter 2 in this cell and I say, give me the date for this number, it is going to be 2nd January 1900, which means that each full whole number is going to represent 1 full day. If that is the case, this means that if you want to calculate hours or minutes or seconds, then it has to be a decimal value, a portion of that number. So in this case, if I come here and I convert this into a date, this gives me 1st January 1900, because as of now, Excel thinks that this is a date, which is one full whole number is going to represent 1st January 1900. And then this is going to represent the time value. But this is not how we want the result. So what we are going to do is we are going to, instead of dividing this by 60, we are going to first divide this by 24 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 60. This is because if 1 represents 1 full day, then how many seconds are there in 1 full day? 24 into 60 into 60. So this number will now give me the seconds value that Excel would actually understand as time. See what happens when I hit enter? It gives me this decimal value. Let's apply this for the entire column. Now I can format this as time. And to do that, I'm going to go to the Home tab, and here in number, I'm going to click on this small dialog box launcher. And when I do that, it opens the Format Cells dialog box. And here I have the option of time. And you can see here the time option. It shows me different formats that I can choose from. Let's go with the first one. And now when I click OK, it gives me the right result. It gives me 1 minute 43 seconds for this, 1 minute 57 seconds for this, and so on. So now when I have given Excel the right decimal value that represents these many seconds in the day, I can then format it and show it in a minute and seconds value. So this is why I said it is not as easy as simply dividing it by 60. So what you have to do is first divide it by 24 into 60 into 60, which means that calculate the decimal portion that these many seconds represent and then format it as seconds. Now let me show you slightly different methods of doing the same thing. So I'm going to show you 2 formula ways to do this. Here again, I have the same data. And what I'm going to do is calculate the minutes and seconds by using again a simple formula. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this cell and then use the same formula 24 into 60 into 60. But in this case, what I can do with the formula is instead of getting the result and then formatting the cells, I can do the same thing by using a formula, which is the text formula. So in the text formula, it takes 2 arguments, the value or the result, which would be this, and then the format in which I want this. So I can specify the format right here. And I want these results in minute and seconds format. So I'm going to enter the format within double quotes and then end the bracket and then hit enter. See what happens? It gives me 01:43, which is the time. And in most cases, this is exactly what you want. So this gives you the time and you don't have to go and format the cells. The only downside in this case is the value that this formula returns is actually a text value. So these are not numbers in the backend now, these are text strings. But if all you want to do is get the value here, then text formula is also a fast way to do this. Now, a couple of things that you can do with the text formula is maybe add some text to it, because now it has become a text string. You do not have to treat it like numbers, you can treat it like text string. So for example, I can add the text time and then add an ampersand. And now when I hit enter, it actually gives me the time, the calculation of the time along with some text before it. So this is something useful in case you want to have a prefix or suffix to the value, but still have the calculation in place. Now let me show you another formula to do this. Here again, I have the same data and I want to get the minutes and seconds from this value. So what I'm going to use is the int function, and within the int function, I would say this value divided by 60. So this is going to give me the minutes value, because now these are seconds. If I divide it by 60, it gives me the total number of completed minutes. And int formula only takes the integer part of it. So it is only going to show me the completed number of minutes here. So when I hit enter, it gives me 1 because 1 minute has elapsed in this time period. Now I don't just want the minute value, I also want the seconds value. So I come here and I say ampersand, and now I'm going to add a value to it. Let's say I add colon here and then I add the seconds portion. So to do that, I'm going to use the mod function where I would say this number and 60, which means that give me, sorry, not 69, 60. So this means give me any value that is remained after all the completed minutes have been removed. So see what happens when I hit enter, it gives me 143. And this is exactly the same result I got here or here. So this is the right result. But what this formula also allows me to do is I can add something more meaningful, a text here, because now in this formula, I have added text portion here. So this has actually become a text string. So let me change this formula a little bit. I would come here, let me remove this and start this from scratch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say these many minutes and these many seconds in text. So this was going to give me the total number of completed minutes. And then I would say minutes and the mod function with b2 comma 60. So this gives me the remaining seconds when all the full minutes have been removed. And then I can add seconds. And now when I hit enter, it gives me 1 minute 43 seconds, and then I can drag this down. So again, it gives me the right values. It's just that because I have converted these into text, I can manipulate this so that I can calculate and put the full minutes here, the remaining seconds here, and in between I can insert text if I want. So this is again another way of doing it. Just remember that because you have now converted these into text strings, you will not be able to use these in formulas as numbers. You would be able to use these as text strings. So these are 3 simple methods you can use to quickly convert seconds into minutes in Excel. If all you want to do is quickly get the value in simple format, then I recommend you go with the custom format method. But if you want to be a little more creative and add more context to the values, then you can use the text or the int and mod functions as well. That's it in this video. I hope you found this useful. Also, if you're liking these videos, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and click on the bell icon so that you never miss out on any new Excel tips video I come up with. Thank you and have a nice day.